body was tingling as I was throwing the ball. And I was experiencing it in her chakras as I was doing it. And then the second lady I worked with, I was talking about it and saying, this is how we do it. We go left to right, we choose a color, then we, you know, and I talked exactly through how we do it. And then I didn't have to do it because she goes, her voice even raised when we went up through crown chakra. And then after her voice raised, we just sat for a moment and she goes, oh, I've got this heat throwing through my body, her central meridian. And I said, oh, I can feel it too. So we both had the big rush of energy. And then I said, well, let's do the ball work anyway. And she goes, there's nothing. There's nothing. So we didn't even do the ball work. It was freaky.
Things are, it's gaining steam. It's gaining
yeah.
steam. That's great. All right. Well, we've got a bunch of people that are ready to go. Liz Larson, are we? We're live on YouTube. Awesome. Are we live on Facebook, or are we just live on YouTube?
No, we are not able to get into Facebook again tonight. Zoom is just having so many problems tonight. It's saying that we opted out of Facebook. So we're going for YouTube. I think over time, you know, Zoom will get used to the high volume and also Facebook. But in the meanwhile, we've got glitches.
Okay. Well, interesting. Never been live on YouTube, so this is great. New experience. Have no idea how that works, but thank you all for coming. This is part 3 of the Superhuman Immunity series. If you haven't watched part 1 or part 2, they're available to you if you go to cognomovement.com and you just, at the very top, there's a little banner and it says subscribe for your free gift. You can put in your email address, hit the subscribe for free gift, and you're going to get the other 2 recordings. So the first and the second parts of this. Part 1 is the physical aspects. We go over these exercises that are real exercises that are now proven in the West to have you get control over your autonomic nervous system and your autoimmune system. So these exercises, it's actually published in the National Institute of Health now that you can do this. So we're doing those exercises and showing them to you in part 1. In part 2, we go over some emotional things and we actually show where your resentment and your fear really impact your immune system. And we have some wonderful tests that show your different systems, your pancreas, your thyroid, all these aspects of your system and how they respond to your fear. And when you let them go, what happens there? And anyway, you'll see there's like a doubling of energy. Part 3 here, we're going to go over nutrition. Liz Larson will be taking the majority of this because she's really great at it all. And I just have a couple things that I want to make sure that I get across to everybody right up front around nutrition that I figured actually worked for me. After this, we're going from 4 o'clock Pacific time to 5 o'clock Pacific. At 5 o'clock, we have another hour and it's free. And that free hour is Cognomovement. Now, this is a very simple exercise. I'll show you what it's about. Cognomovement here is the discovery that your body can force the processing of your emotional issues. You basically focus on whatever it is. I'm really afraid of this whole coronavirus or my financial situation's going in the toilet because of this. And you really feel it. and then you do this exercise, and it's mechanical. And what it does is it actually processes the issue for you. So it's not like you're going to say, oh, I'm going to be, I'm so brave, or I'm so, Christian, I'm so forgiving. You literally just don't feel the thing anymore. It does not take away your discernment or your knowing right and wrong, but you just don't have to struggle anymore with stress and fear and resentments and things like that. So you're going to witness that. And if you have your Cogno Movement ball already, then you're going to see the people here. We're actually going to do live sessions with people, and who knows what they're bringing to the table. But the way I ask is, if you are staying, bring your worst issue. And I do that not to like, oh, we're so great. It's, if I can solve the worst issue for you today, that's going to be the highest impact on your life. I'm going to really seriously impact your life by the time you get off this call. So that's what it's about. This is Cogno Movement, again, starting at 5 o'clock. Just want to make everybody aware. So, Liz, I don't know if you have the slides. I'm ready to rock on that, if you are.
I am, but I wanted to ask you first. Cogno Movement Gym, Immunity Gym is in day 4 so
yes.
far.
Yes.
Yeah. So share with everybody how that's going. And I do think we have a couple participants here if they want to share. I mean, that's the point of all of this, is the Immunity Gym.
Okay. All right. So this is really, this is great. I'm in this 3-hour series. You're going to learn how to do all this stuff, right? But you learn it, and for most of us, actually getting in the habit and actually doing it, those are two different things. And just like how to do push-ups, when you probably, if you go to the gym and you're there at the gym, you actually do the stuff. So we put together an immunity gym, and with the immunity gym, it's an hour every morning and 7 days a week. And what we're doing is we are going through and actually doing the exercises. We do the breathing exercises. We do all these different exercises that are proven to boost your immunity from a physical perspective and an emotional perspective. If you watch the video, there's certain things around voltage. There's certain things around certain breath that we now know. And we do these different exercises, and it's been great. Matter of fact, I think maybe if anybody's willing, there might be some people here from that are going to the immunity gym. Anybody want to tell them about, after 4 days, your before and after? It's not after, because it's going on 7 days a week now. Who do we have, Liz?
I know we have, it looks like Crystal and maybe Annette.
Oh, okay. All right. And maybe we could start with Annette. If you wouldn't mind telling them how's the experience been of the immunity gym that we're doing.
Okay, so far it's been more than I expected, really, because I've done a lot of work with you. But so we get you on it's like a one-on-one session pretty much, where you walk us through the whole thing, right? But it's the experience of actually doing it in community that I think is my biggest takeaway, because that always helps. You have accountability there. But it's been a huge, huge improvement for me. Like, my energy level is, before I had dips where I was good, and then I was like, oh, it's growing and it's gone. I'm pretty much running even. And I really, really like the fact that I feel like I'm more stable, considering everything else around me doesn't feel quite as stable going on. you know, so that's,
Okay, I can
it's
hear him
keeping
on
me
here.
more centered.
Okay, I'm just, at least I can do it.
Oh, I don't know what happened.
Sorry, Annette, I'm just trying to mute some other people. Go ahead.
Okay.
Continue.
Yeah, so my biggest takeaway so far, I mean, it feels like we've come such a long way and it's only day 4 today.
Okay, there it
So-
is. I got it.
Somebody else is on.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
I got him.
Okay.
Okay,
All right.
yeah.
So my biggest takeaway is my energy level that's been pretty stable. The one-on-one and the community that it creates, just doing it, just actually getting into it. No more talking, we're actually doing it. And I think that's the biggest thing. And I've seen a lot of improvement so far, so I can't wait.
All right.
So if anybody's just even trying to think if they should try, just go ahead and do it. I think it's going to be the best investment for your 1 hour of that day. For each hour you have, it's a huge investment in yourself. Thank you, Bill.
You're welcome. It's been fun. Fun having you in class.
Thanks.
And Crystal, your experience, if you can unmute yourself, if you want to say your experience of the gym over the past 4 days.
It keeps me grounded, keeps me focused on my task. And a lot of times things come up that I didn't know were there. And so then that gives me something I need to work on that day that I can work on later in the day. So that's really good for me because it gives me direction.
Good. Wonderful. Thank you, Crystal.
Thank you.
All right. So we have the immunity gym is going on. Like I say, the restart is Monday morning. Liz will tell you about how you can sign up. It's only $99 for an entire week, 7 days, hour a day. And I know I'm feeling it because I'm doing the exercises along with everybody. Okay, ready to talk about immunity and from a nutritional point of view.
Okay. Stand by.
Okay.
Here it is. Here we go.
All right. So on Liz, I'll have you got the slides, right? Okay. So
yeah.
there's one thing, you know, our gut has so much to do with our immunity. And for me, I had irritable bowel syndrome for most of my life. I think it started when I was in an early teen and I just couldn't digest. And, you know, here I am in my 50s and I still, right, you know, I still was having problems. And I had been through, you name it, everything from Western medicine and all the wonderful things about Western medicine, as well as, you know, hypnosis and healers and you name it. But I really couldn't seem to get control of it. And anyway, I did find something that works. This is Stephen Gundry, Total Restore. And he has some wonderful kind of infomercials about, he was out of Loma Linda University, heart doctor. And anyway, he came up with this, he did a lot of research. And for me, it's really helped. It did not happen in one day, but what I found is it progressed. You know, week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, it just kept getting better and better. And, you know, even week 1, I noticed, I'm not having the pain like I used to. So leaky gut type deal is what it can help with. So in the East, they've known, you know, that your gut is responsible a lot for your feelings, right? It has you have more brain cells in your gut than you do in your brain. I know that sounds nuts. And there are 4 4 neurological channels that come up to your brain and 1 from your brain down to your gut. So the information is flowing gut to brain more than it's flowing brain to gut. So it has a heck of a lot to do with mood and with things you think and that sort of thing. So anyway, I'm grateful. Amazon or I think Dr. Stephen Gundry, Gundry, and you can see his website and that sort of thing. They're a little heavy on the promotion thing, but heck, the darn thing works. So great documentaries on it. Okay, if you have irritable bowel or that sort of thing, I think that's really great. The other thing that I wanted to share with you is a story, right? And this story is out of one of the plagues in the century. I don't know when it was. I think it was the Black Plague. And there was these thieves out there, and they would basically pillage at random. They are at will, because nobody would go next to the people who are sick or the dead bodies and that kind of thing. And they were just cleaning up. They didn't care. Anyway, eventually the thieves get caught, and the question is, how the heck are you guys not getting sick and everybody else is? And we won't prosecute you, just tell us how you do that. And anyway, they it's basically clove oil. There's a few other things in there, but this is sold. You can get, they call it thieves. And again, you can get this basically anywhere, Amazon or wherever. And you put it on your feet. It smells like cloves. It's not, you kind of get used to it and kind of like it after a while, but antiviral. So that's just a couple of tricks, right, that you can use. I'm going to now turn this over to the master, Liz Larson, for all of the other things related to nutrition.
Bill, did you not want to do the slides on the BioWell?
I've been, I don't know if I had any nutritional ones. Oh, the things not to do. Is that what you're saying?
Well, you had some here for the breath technique. We've already kind of gone over that. Spine breath technique, exposure to cold, voltage.
Yeah, these are all part 1.
Okay.
This is part 3 today. So we're going down. I have it divided out on the slides way down towards the bottom is part 3.
Okay.
The only, if you scale down, it'll say part 3 on it.
Okay, I got it. I got it.
There is one thing about nutrition, right? And that is kind of the wrong things to do. And, I'm famous for the wrong things to do. If you take a look at me, I'm not afraid of a burger, and I will have myself a margarita now and again. But when I did, I showed, maybe you could slide down to that before and after the margarita. This is kind of a what not to do. So, Liz, you have control of those slides, I assume.
Can you see them?
You know what? My slides are complete. The screen is stuck. I don't see right now. There's the Buddhist monk, Tibetan monk there in the snow.
No, we still see the monk just sitting there, Liz. I don't see you.
Okay.
I don't see the margarita.
Okay, so I'm going to just tell you a little bit about it. So the story is basically that I took up this measurement which showed me shows all of every meridian in your body. It shows the amount of energy in joules, which is an electric measurement. And with this, you can tell how much energy or you've got and how balanced it is, sympathetic, parasympathetic. Now, as you'll see, I was looking pretty good with the when I took the test at about noon on Saturday, and I'm coming home from this retreat. And when I came home from the retreat and stopped off for Mexican food, had some margaritas, you know, I had about a margarita and a half, Cadillac margarita. And then the next morning, I woke up, and when I woke up, I kind of had that a little bit, you know, not feeling 100%, you know, I could still feel the drink in me, you know, kind of like, but it wasn't really like, you know, real bad. Anyway, once I saw the results energetically, it had cut my energy into well over half, well, maybe even more. And not only did it cut over in half, it actually ended up forcing all of the energy to one side, like the parasympathetic systems were just way overactive and the sympathetics weren't. So anyway, that's the story. There's just things not to do if you're trying to really keep your immunity up. Hard alcohol is worse for you than beer or wine. That's not as bad. It won't affect you as much. And smoking, vaping, those sorts of things you don't want to do. You also want to go in with the rhythm of the earth, you know, meaning get up in the morning, watch the sunrise. It'll set the circadian rhythms with the earth and connecting to the earth as well. So that's my portion there. Liz, you've got so much to say. I'm gonna turn it over to you.
Okay, hi everybody. If you don't know me already, I'm Liz Larson. I don't know how to say my own last name, and Bill's general partner in crime here on these things. And I do have something to say before I start the slides. I've said this before, and I just want to kind of give you an update on why we're doing what we're doing and why we're talking about nutrition when our lane is kind of cogno movement here. Both Bill and I do so many other things, and the things that we're sharing with you are actually things that we do in our own life. And what I'm about to share with you is about herbs and nutrition and food. And it comes from my background. My family has always used natural medicine, and herbs are second nature to me. You know, making my own salves are second nature to me. And a lot of people say, oh, you know, are you making a potion? Well, yeah, but it's just what we do. It's part of our life. And so during this time when everybody's struggling with what to do and being upset and nervous about whether we're going to get the virus, whether we're not going to get the virus, whether we're going to have money to feed our kids, whether we're going to have jobs, we wanted people to feel confident about what they can do, how to manage things in a way that they feel like they have the power to do. And so my part today, that's what I want to share with you, are things that make me feel confident and that I use daily, monthly in my life. And I want you to have them so that you know you can do this and you can have some control over the outcomes of your own health and well-being through some herbs and some food and some other things like that. So I'm not a doctor. Bill's not a doctor. And we don't play one on TV either. Let's see, guys, I just lost you. Can you still see me? Bill, something just happened with our screen. Bill, can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can still hear you.
We're seeing Marcia Van Ree's screen. So Marcia, if you could stop sharing your screen. Let me see if I can stop it. Oh boy, we have never, okay, there we go. We've never had this happen before.
That's a new one.
Yeah, that is a new one. Okay, thanks Marcia for your screen, but that wasn't a very great looking picture of Bill. Anyway, so I just want to let you know that's why we're doing this, and that's the point. I'm not a doctor. Bill's not a doctor. These are just things that we use, so we want to share them with you. So I'm going to start with my first screen here is something I did today, and Bill alluded to it earlier, is sunbathing. It's spring. We're starting to have some sun. So it's great for natural vitamin D. You can get about 20,000 international units in about 15 to 20 minutes. But more than that, you can get the light in your eyes, which helps activate your pituitary gland. And pituitary gland is a master hormone, master gland, but it's also really hinted at that it helps with our intuition and with our spirituality as well. So if you're interested in that, getting a little bit of light in the eyes, it means going outside without glasses on. And in the early morning at sunrise and like sunset, like Bill said, is beautiful because the angle of the sun is at an angle that it can't hurt your eyes, but you can still get all the benefit from the rays, and it's so beautiful. If you go out in midday, you can still do the same thing, just do it where you're not looking directly into the sun or where you're not getting really harsh rays. Try to be at an angle where you're getting the light in your eyes, but not the direct sun. And getting a little on your skin, 10 to 20 minutes a day, is really beneficial. People in other countries, especially the Northern European countries, sunbathe their babies. They know about getting out in the light. And here we tend to hide from the sun, but we do need some, and it really boosts our immune systems. So I am going to pair on something that Bill said too, with something called kefir grains. I'm going to show you what it looks like here. Kefir grains are something that come out of the Middle and Far East. It's used in Russia and Turkey, in Greece, and places like that where you have very hardy people. And it's a way that they use to kind of ferment or store milks of all kinds. Kefir grains are actually a bacteria, a natural bacteria, but they have this wonderful ability to eat out any kind of virus, toxins, bad bacteria. So there's this wonderful book by Donna Gates, and she has several books about kefir and fermented foods. But the question was asked, do we need to have organic milk to make kefir? And she said that no, not really, because the kefir eats away and digests anything not wanted out of the milk. It eats away the sugar as well. But what kefir really does is it strengthens our gut. And it starts to overtake bad bacteria and convert into a good bacteria, which creates these long-lived, very hardy, healthy people. And in times when you're sick, you can rinse it around your mouth, take a little extra, and it will actually help to get rid of some of these bad bacteria and even viruses as well. So Donna Gates also shares a story about the family having stomach flu. And that's the last thing you want is a yogurt type thing when you have the stomach flu. But she decided to go ahead and take it because she'd had such good work with it, or it had worked so well, that within 30 minutes, she no longer had the symptoms of stomach flu, but the rest of the family did. It just goes in and eats that bad bacteria. So why kefir instead of yogurt? Yogurt has usually 12 strains of bacteria. Kefir has from 42 to 72, depending on the strength and also depending on how much you fed your kefir. Kefir is a live being, it's bacteria, and you do have to feed it and care for it. It's a little tiny bit of work. It's about 5 minutes every other day if you're really, really making it. Kefir is shared in communities. I want to show you again what it looks like. These grow. And when they grow, you share them with someone. I mean, it becomes too much. So it's one of those things that people will gift you. If you look into online chats in your area, in your neighborhood, you can ask health food stores. But you can also buy it online as well. And it's usually maybe $10, $11. Another one is kombucha. You may have heard a lot about kombucha. Kombucha is one of those acquired tastes for sure, where kefir just tastes like yogurt. And you can add lovely things to it. But kombucha is also a powerful bacteria and is even indicated in helping with some kinds of cancers. So it's a powerful fermented food as well. You can also make it at home, but this one you can just buy in the store. And it really does boost your not only your immunity, but your energy. For me, it works like a tonic. So if my energy starts to get low during the day, or I start to feel like I'm getting a little cold or something, I'll take it back a kombucha and my energy returns. So for me, it actually makes me hot. So it's one of those things that you kind of play with and see if it works with your body. But for me, it's a very powerful tonic. The next is apple cider vinegar and honey. What you want is live raw vinegar. Again, we're talking about another fermented food that has live bacteria in it. And apple cider vinegar is one of those things, it's like an old wives' tale. People use it for everything, but it really is incredibly helpful. The biggest thing that apple cider vinegar is credited with is helping your body be a little more alkaline. And an alkaline body, a little more alkaline body, we don't want to get carried away, but an alkaline body actually has less inflammation. The less inflammation we have, the healthier we are, and the more able we are to fight things off. So apple cider vinegar will make your body alkaline in minutes. If you add honey to it, it is now this powerful tonic that actually will help your body drain your lymph glands. So if you take apple cider vinegar and honey, so what I do is a teaspoon to a teaspoon, live raw honey as well. You don't want to cooked honey. And I 1 to 1 and fill it with water, and it tastes like lemonade, realistically. And you drink that. If you take it at night, beware, you will be up peeing all night long because it really gets the fluid off your body. And you can tell that your body's starting to be more alkaline because you are less bloated and you have less inflammation. So that's a really, really powerful one. Let's see. Raw honey on its own is a very powerful antifungal, antibacterial that you can use for cough syrups. And on the next slide, I'll show you that. Powerful for cough syrups. But it also will kill things in your mouth and in your gut before it gets into your, or in your esophagus, down your throat before it gets into your belly. So it's also very good for wounds. Most people don't realize that you can put raw honey right on wounds and it'll actually help heal them. So Manuka honey, I'm sorry if this is a little smaller. Manuka honey is one of those things and that a lot of people don't know about. So it's why I want to share it with you. This is an interesting one because recently you can now get it at places like Home Goods and TJ Maxx or Ross if they're open in their gourmet food sections. And the price is a third of what it costs in the health food store. But Manuka honey is available in all health food stores, Whole Foods, and even in a lot of nicer just grocery stores that have a good health food department. Now, what's special about Manuka honey is that it creates its own natural hydrogen peroxide. It comes from bees that get their nectar from the Manuka tree in New Zealand. So it's like the Melaleuca tree, like tea tree oil, which we're going to talk about later. But it's a sister or brother tree to that. It's a Manuka. And this honey actually doesn't taste great because it tastes like it has a little hydrogen peroxide in it, but you can eat it, no problem. But it's used often to seal in burns because it creates the natural hydrogen peroxide that cleans the wound and seals it. It makes an incredible facial, ladies. While you are home doing nothing, you have time for facials, right? And also, they keep talking about don't touch your face because you have this bacteria and virus on your face. So a honey facial, especially with Manuka, it energizes your face because it's tingly. It also will kill any bad bacteria that's on your face or viruses. So this is what it looks like if you want to buy it at the store. It's Manuka. So the next thing that I do with Manuka honey is I make my own cough syrup because in my house, I don't want somebody who's already sick having a cough syrup that has chemicals in it and dyes, especially if it's a kid. They always have like bright red dye in them and you've got a kid, you don't want a hyper kid on your hands. So in my house, I make my own natural cough syrup. So Manuka honey, about a tablespoon with a couple of tablespoons or even a quarter cup of lemon makes a beautiful cough syrup on its own, and it really, really soothes cough. But I take it a step further, and now we're going to talk about some homeopathy. So I just want to show you what I mean by homeopathy. It's these. You've probably seen them in the health food store. Homeopathics, it's homeo is it's like cures like, and they're very powerful, but they can't hurt anything. If they're not your remedy, they just do nothing. And you can take them with medications and all kinds of things and not worry about it. In fact, I think the FDA considers them nothing. So you can use them fairly freely. These are the ones that I use, and this is actually spelled wrong. It's Sticta, Sticta, Bryonia, Bryonia, and Sticta is actually, the full name is Sticta pulmonaria. So you hear the pulmonaria in their lungs. Bryonia and Spongiatosta, and these are all for cough and lung. Each are for a different kind of cough, so you have covered the whole gamut there. But what I do is take my cough syrup, my tablespoon of honey with my quarter cup of lemon or less, lemon that really is to taste, and then I add 2 doses of each into a bottle, maybe 3-4 ounce bottle with some filtered water, and just shake it up, and it makes this beautiful cough syrup that works amazing. That is something I have on hand. I keep it in my fridge all year round. Because the honey is antibacterial, you don't have to worry about it going bad. It's pretty well preserved. So the next thing I want to talk about that we don't think about, it's one of those things we all know we could do, is juicing and fresh live food. Well, I mean, that's common knowledge, right? But why would we want to do it, especially when we're fighting off illness and trying to get our immune system to be powerful? The main reason is the enzymes. So we think, it's good for us because it's fruit and vegetables, but why? Because they have live enzymes. And those enzymes do a massive amount of work in our gut health, in our skin, in our everywhere. So the enzymes are what you want. And for that reason, you want to use your juice up almost immediately. Because the enzymes, after about 6 hours, they don't see enzymes in them really anymore actively. Of course, all the vitamins and minerals are still there. No reason to throw it out. It's just this live active enzyme that creates this powerful health is not so active. So you want to use it really right away. Now, since we're all home doing nothing, you could make it into a little bit of a spritzer. If you wanted to use a little 7-Up for a treat for kids, maybe, you could add to this and make it really yummy. Don't take a BioWell test after, but you could add a little wine or a little sparkling wine cooler or something to add to. So there's ways to do this that makes it fun while you're home doing nothing, but just one a day will really change the alkalinity of your system, and it really makes you feel stronger over the days. I just went back on it about a week and a half ago. And by day 3, I noticed my energy was much better. So consider that. Why do I keep touching this stupid screen? Okay, let's move on to what kinds of things you can add to juicing. I'll just share with you what I do. I like beets, fresh beets. They're very, very sweet, and they clean your blood and they detox your liver. We need a detox liver when we're fighting any kind of disease or illness or that viral thing or bacterial thing. So it detoxes your liver. I like to add an apple, some spinach. I almost always add the juice of 1 whole lemon. Celery juice has been super popular lately. Celery has a lot of mineral salts in it that are really healthy for our cells and the cell walls. So celery is a very, very good one as well. That's my little cocktail that I like to do. If I have it around, anything green that I have, I'll add in there. You can even add the beet greenery if you want. It's a little salty, but it's actually kind of good. grapes, you could add strawberries, anything that you want to, but heavier on the veggies than the fruit if you can. And not too much sugar if you have a problem with blood sugar at all. But pretty much anything you use is going to make this concentrated full of enzymes. Let's move on to another food that almost everybody has in your house that is incredible for cleaning our blood, building our immune system, works like a natural antibiotic. It's garlic. And garlic can be used in a lot of different ways. So my house, because we're Italian, I mean, garlic is everywhere. But my dad used to cut it and put it between his cheek and gum if he was starting to be sick. Now, he smelled terrible, mind you, but the man never got sick. You could also cut garlic and put it on, if you have an abscess on a tooth, it will within an hour stop the infection, really get it down. So you have time to get into the doctor, the dentist, without, making an infection in your blood, that kind of thing. So, but garlic can also be put on the feet of a very, very ill person. And in the morning, if you put it on overnight, in the morning, their breath smells like garlic. The feet will absorb and draw anything that you put on them in. So it's very, very powerful for that. It's an antiviral. It's an antifungal. It keeps the vampires away. We always have to remember that. Raw is best, but cooked works great too. Another big trick in our house was my dad loved canned Campbell's chicken soup, and he would just load it up with garlic and have garlic soup. And that really would help. If anybody was coming down with a cold, you got the garlic soup. And we just didn't get them like other people. And we just didn't get them as long as other people too. So citrus. So this is a big one. And if you remember, think about your grandmother. Did any of your grandmothers use citrus, the outside of the lemon, to clean your sink or to clean your counters? I saw my grandma do it all the time. It was the skin of the lemon is a natural disinfectant, and it worked great. So that skin is really valuable in the fight against anything. So one of the tricks I use is I actually eat the rind of half of a lemon every day. If I'm juicing anyway, I use that whole rind. Now the inside of that rind, let me see if I can find the slide, is really, really powerful. Let's see if I can find my lemon slide. There it is. So if you can see this inside white, this has a lot of vitamins and minerals and enzymes, and for some reason is an incredible healer. So where I learned about this from is a doctor, a naturopath, a very old naturopath who'd studied everything. He was an MD, a naturopath, an iridologist, a chiropractor. And he got into medicine because of the rind of a lemon and orange. He was injured, not well taken care of at home, and his teacher would bring him in during the recess every day and make him eat this white part out of an orange or a lemon daily. And he healed very, very quickly. His prognosis wasn't good. He had a broken bone that wasn't setting, and it turned him on to healing. This inner lining here can be put on a wound, and it will help a wound heal so fast you can't imagine. So this little lime or lemon that you can get for $1 at the store has a lot of power, not to mention the vitamin C. So citrus has a lot of vitamin C, oranges, lemons, tangelos, tangerines, all of those. You can eat that inner lining, and it really creates powerful health. So I'm going to move on to, here we go. Well, we're going to talk about herbs. So these are some herbs that I use, but I just want to show you, this is tincture form here, which means that the herb has been soaked in usually an alcohol or distilled water for at least 6 months, sometimes a year, to extract the properties from the herb. So these are very, very concentrated, a tincture, and they usually come in 1 ounce or 2 ounces. But many herbs you can find like this. This is just dry herb. So one of the herbs I'm going to tell you about is echinacea, which so many people know about. But what people don't know is that you can get dry echinacea. Right now, the tinctures are out. The stores are just out of everything. Health food stores as well. And you can get dry echinacea and make it into a tea. You can actually take echinacea, rub it in your hands, and put it in your salad. It's a little astringent, just a tiny bitter, but the dry herb you can use for many things, and it's very easy to get in most health food stores. You can get it in a bag. Sometimes the apothecary has it. If you're going to use it, use root and leaf and flower. Echinacea is so powerful that it has been known to work for staph infection, where antibiotics do not, in things like MRSA. It's powerful against strep infection as well. So that's how strong this one is. Now, what my family does, and this comes from from Dr. Schultz, Richard Schultz, theherbdoc.com, is we practice what's called taking a shot. So this 1 ounce bottle, if we're coming down with something, we will take half of it at a time, taking the whole bottle in a day. I think Bill got some experience with that recently, but it works. And you don't have to be worried about overdosing on echinacea itself, especially if you're using it, you're just doing that 1 or 2 days, that's all. And then you taper off and you can take less. I'm sorry, guys, I don't know why this keeps moving back. So echinacea is very strong. You can actually even make a salve with echinacea. You take a little bit of beeswax, maybe half a teaspoon, and you take a couple tablespoons of olive oil. So let's say you're using, just a little pot like this. Warm it, just barely warm, and put 3 or 4 drops of echinacea in it. And now you've made a salve that can really help to fight things like staph and strep. Great for kids. So calendula is another one, very powerful. The reason I'm showing you these is they're some of the strongest things that can work to fight things like staph and strep where Western medicine can't. So we would just extrapolate that they would be helpful in our current situation. So calendula is very powerful for especially staph infection on the skin. As well, you can get it in a gel, a tincture, and you can get the dry herb. In fact, I have it in my backyard. Most of us do and don't even realize. Really common in the packs of seeds for butterflies, you'll have calendula. Burdock is another one. So now I'm getting into ones that are not likely to be out at your health food stores. These are likely to be available because people don't know about them. So burdock is one. Lomatium is a Native American tonic herb, very powerful, works on things like mono, Epstein-Barr, but it's a tonic. So it's for almost anything that would bother you. The Mormons used it for syphilis when they came out west. So it's a really good one. Also, you can get that at herbs and dry. OSHA, O-S-H-A, is a deep lung tonic. And this is a good one to know, especially in our current situation, OSHA. And not a lot of people know how to use this one. So it's probably still available. If none of those are available, think about what's in your own kitchen. Cayenne pepper. We all have red pepper flakes. Most of us have some kind of Tabasco. All of these things are really powerful medicine. They can actually stop internal bleeding. Most people do not know that, but it also helps circulate the blood. So if you are taking these herbs and then you use some cayenne pepper on top of them and get your blood moving, or you do a hot or cold shower like Bill's talking about, it brings the herbs through your body to your skin. You start to sweat, which is a way to get toxins out. So now's a good time for salsa. Good excuse for chips and salsa. The hotter, the better. Cayenne pepper, chipotle peppers, any kind of peppers really is really good for that. So it's also an antiviral, antifungal, and really a powerful thing. So everybody has that in their house. Don't be afraid to use it during this time. So tea tree oil. If you are not using tea tree oil and you're interested in natural medicine at all, get some tea tree oil, have it in your house. You can use it for a million things. Tea tree oil is wonderful for opening your sinuses and your lungs. So that same doctor that told me about the lemon rind taught me about tea tree oil. And he said that tea tree oil is unique in that it travels along the mucous membranes. So a small amount in a place where you have a mucous membrane, like inside the nose or inside the mouth, will allow that to travel throughout. So just a Q-tip with a little tea tree oil inside each nostril will really open up your sinuses and also allow that medicine to go in and start to kill the bacteria and the viruses and the fungus. So really, really good in a sinus flush. However, I will warn you, this is not comfortable. So what you would do is use a neti pot or any kind of a nasal douche, and you would use less than a dropper full, just a tiny, tiny amount in the neti pot with some Himalayan salt water. The salt also will dry out the sinuses. And it really will help you open, even if you don't want to take sinus medicine, it will open for 3 or 4 hours. So you would do that every 2 to 3 hours if you really have a sinus thing going on. It'll also travel down into your esophagus. You can add a small amount to your toothpaste for a preventive to kill bacteria and virus in the mouth, but it also kills the bacteria, the bad bacteria on our teeth. So it's really good for our teeth. A small amount added to lotion will really work as a great hand sanitizer. I don't know why the screen wants to show. So remember that antibacterial soap and antibacterial hand sanitizers can also kill the bacteria, are good bacteria. It doesn't discriminate. So it can kill the good bacteria in our guts. If you're using massive amounts of hand sanitizer during this time, you could end up with a gut problem later on because you've killed your good bacteria. We do have good bacteria on our hands as well. So we want to be careful with that one. If we use something more like tea tree oil in a great lotion, we're moisturizing our hands, we're preventing bad bacteria and viruses, but we're also not killing our good bacteria. Using a little tea tree oil in a vaporizer or diffuser is a great idea because it'll actually atomize the tea tree oil and get on our surfaces. We're also breathing it in. So it'll help us keep our surfaces sanitized as well and our air at the same time. So those are just a few things. Tea tree oil, look it up. There's a million ways you can use it. Oregano oil is amazing. Oregano oil tea. Usually we all have oregano in our cupboards if we make spaghetti. You can use that. Those are herbs. They're not just spices. You can make a tea and it's very powerful. Also highly antibacterial and antiviral. And but you can take oregano oil pills. This is a really good preventive on a daily basis. I take oregano oil daily, just one, just a small one, just to make sure that I'm fighting anything off, because it's not just coronavirus that's out there, it's everything that's out there. And if we can use something that's just part of our herb cabinet, our spice cabinet to keep ourselves healthy, why not? Lavender oil is amazing to have on hand. And any of the oils that you can get from like doTERRA or Young Living, most of those have antibacterial and antifungal properties. So most of them you can use, but lavender specifically, keep on hand for burns and to use in your diffuser. The other thing about lavender oil is it'll calm us down. And right now, a lot of people need some calming. So if you find that your family is a little restless and fussy, put a couple drops of lavender oil in a diffuser and you might see that they will relax and calm down. Himalayan sea salt. This is a big one. I use Himalayan sea salt twice a day, just a kernel. Good grief, what is wrong with this? Just a kernel, and I put it under my tongue. And it really helps, like Bill's talking about voltage, it really helps the voltage in our body. It helps that electricity travel between our cells. It helps with trace minerals. So Himalayan sea salt and Celtic sea salt, if you look at their breakdown, they're not just sodium, they have all kinds of trace minerals in them. So a little bit under the tongue. I actually keep Himalayan sea salt on hand for migraines. I found that if I start to have a migraine and I grab my Himalayan sea salt and put it in my hands within a short time, I use this is a little rock, if you can see me. The migraine will stop. I get electrical migraines, so it will draw electricity. These are very, very grounding for one, but it also has the minerals, and your hands are like your feet, and they do absorb what you put in them. So I find Himalayan sea salt very, very helpful. And the kernel in the morning at night really helps me. And I notice if I don't do it, I don't have as much available energy. If you put it in your neti pot, you also, or a nasal douche, it also will help open the lungs and the sinus, and it's very protective. Another thing is that sipping water to push the viruses into the stomach. So keeping yourself hydrated will help you with your immunity as well. Dehydration can be extraordinarily dangerous, and you need to keep yourself hydrated, and adding a little Himalayan sea salt, believe it or not, helps the cells hold on to our water. So you want to stay hydrated, and you want to have enough natural salt in your system. Let's see, don't be afraid of a fever. This one is controversial. However, fever is a natural part of our body trying to fight what we're fighting. If we tamper it down too fast, then our body doesn't have that tool to fight with. So consider it as a natural tool and let it go to a safe point. I know it's miserable, but a lot of viruses and bacteria can be sensitive to heat, and it's one of the things our body is trying to do. So if you don't have a fever, but you feel like you're getting sick, you might want to induce one with heat or sauna. A hot steam bath works great for your sinus and lungs as well. So another thing is healing hands. Don't forget, guys, that we have a lot of power in our own bodies to heal ourselves and each other. And these breathing exercises, I don't have time to teach the one today, but any of the breathing exercises that Bill's teaching in session 1 will actually energize your own natural healing ability. You'll notice your hands heat up. Give that energy back to your own body, wherever you need to heal. If it's your lungs, if it's your sinuses, even rubbing your hands together. You know, you see this in, what is it, Karate Kid? You'll feel the heat happen in your hands, and then put that on the place that needs healing. We have powerful ability there, so don't forget to use that. Bill talks a lot about the hot and cold shower. So what I'm going to recommend with that is that you use it to get these herbs flowing throughout your body as well. It will build your immune system, but will also distribute these powerful herbs and enzymes and the juicing and all of that throughout your entire system. So that's a great thing for that. So I'm just going to finish with a really powerful vegetable broth that you can use during this time. Put it on, just keep it going, add to it. And it's just mostly root vegetables. Anything you like, put them in. You can put them in whole, or you can cut them up and saute them. So a whole onion, a whole head of garlic, leeks, carrots are powerful root vegetables. Go for the ones that have the color, like red carrots, yellow carrots, orange carrots, celery stalks and leaves. Fresh rosemary and thyme, many of us have it in our yards as well. 2 or 3 sprigs of bay leaf. Sachet of pickling spices will not only add some powerful herbs, but it will give it an interesting taste. Don't forget mushrooms. Mushrooms are a powerful, powerful healer. Shiitake if possible, but use what you can get. And Celtic sea salt or Himalayan salt will make a big difference. And if you have whole ground peppercorns, throw them in whole. The heat will add something. You just let this cook, you know, pour water over it. You don't have to measure, just fill it up to, you know, just above the veggies. Let this cook down 3 or 4 hours. And then just, you can use the broth, or you can actually eat the veggies too. And it's a really, really powerful boost of nutrition for your body. So I think that's everything I have on food and nutrition, guys. We're going to move into Cogno Movement Hour here any minute. But I do want to open it up to see if we have any questions. I'm going to stop this share. Oh, there's your margarita thing, Bill. Okay, let me give it back to, does anybody have any questions that I can answer before I go? Just unmute yourself.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah, who's this?
This is Katie.
Hi, Katie.
I was wondering about the tea tree oil on the cotton tip for the nostril.
Yeah,
Is that full strength or diluted?
I use it full strength. You can also add it to a little with some olive oil. So if you find that it is too strong for you, take a little bottle of olive oil and add some drops of tea tree. It will infuse, but it'll also spread it out and weaken it down for you. So with tea tree, you have to see what your tolerance is. Like I said, I've been doing this my whole life, so I'm not wimpy when it comes to herbs, but for some people, when it's new, it can be very, abrasive. So test it on yourself and see what you can tolerate. I like full strength, but diluting it, there's nothing wrong with that.
And where do you put it on the nostril?
Just right inside the nostril. You want to get it to where there's some wetness inside your nostril.
Okay.
So that it can follow the mucous membranes.
Great, thank you.
Anybody else before we head into cogno movement? Okay, guys, thank you so much for listening. I hope that this was helpful to you. If you do have any questions, remember you can always email us at billmckennaevents@gmail.com. So I'm going to pass it on to Bill, and we're going to move into cogno movement hour. Before I do, Bill, did you have someone already who volunteered, or are we still looking for a volunteer to work with today?
We're looking for a volunteer. I
Okay.
will make one comment about, Liz, the tinctures of echinacea. Liz turned me on to that, and oh my gosh, it was I don't know, late last year, and I caught some nasty thing, and I took a shot of that, and it was harsh. However, it did work. I mean, I gotta hand it to her. She said, just do this, and I did what she said, and you know what? It worked. So not so much fun going down, but drink some water afterwards, and
Yeah, that is true, guys. Some of these herbs can be very bitter and astringent, and I think that's part of why they work. And natural medicine is not for wimps. It really just isn't. You got to commit to it. But if you know how to use these things, they really can enhance everything you do and make you feel stronger and more powerful, especially about caring for yourself and your family. So you got to buck up and do it. But definitely, you got to have a chaser for the taste.
Okay.
Hey, Liz, I had a question. I couldn't unmute myself when I was trying before.
Sorry.
Catherine Borsellino, but oregano oil. Do you mix that with olive oil or something when using it? Because that is so strong.
Yeah, you know what? Actually, Catherine, I am not a big fan of oregano oil.
Okay.
Like that, it is so strong. So what I do with it is I actually put it in warm water and drink it, especially if I want to coat the inside of my mouth or my throat. But on a daily basis, I use it for preventive, and I just take a pill. It's easiest that way. But if you really need it in a pinch, definitely dilute it in some warm water. The other thing you can do with oregano is you can use the leaves in your cupboard as tea. You're still going to get some of the strength, but it's much easier to tolerate. Okay. And it doesn't taste bad as a tea either.
No, I've tried it a few times and I can't handle it straight.
It's
okay,
very
good.
strong, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so before we go to cogno movement, I just wanted to, if anybody is leaving, well, first of all, I suggest you stay because this is a fun part. But if you are leaving, we do have the immunity gym at 8 a.m. all next week from Monday through Sunday. You can go to Cogno Movement events and sign up. There's also Cogno Movement Gym following that. It's also an hour long. They're both the same price at $99. If you get both of them and do both, it's about $150 for the entire week. So that's 2 hours every day for an entire 7 days. It's a buffet. You can choose any one you want. The immunity gym is a building process. you will feel better and better and have more energy and better immunity as the week goes on. But it is, you'll feel it pretty much after day one. The Cogno movement has different themes. One day will be family, another day success, another day is, you know, other subjects, expressing yourself, so on and so forth. So we clear out a lot of things from your life. Okay.
Hey, Bill, hold on just one sec. I just want to make one point here. Cogno movement, the Cogno movement hour that we're going to do at it's 7 hours of Cogno movement training. I just want to let you guys know that it's about a $250 value, because our seminars, when they're 2 or 3 days, are about $250 per day. So if you're getting it for $99 or $50, if you take both, it's actually an amazing value. And we want you guys to know that we're offering these things during this time because we want you to be as well as possible. So it's an incredible opportunity if you were ever thinking about coming to a seminar, but maybe couldn't afford it, or maybe just wanted to try it out. So just so you know, go to the website. It is upcoming events, Cogno Movement, and go to the upcoming events. And if you want to take both, choose the option for both. There's 2 tickets. So just make sure that you're doing that. Okay, Bill, back to you.
Thank you. Okay. Cogno movement. I'm going to describe what is this, you know, what is this thing? And then we're going to actually do sessions. Okay. Anybody who has an issue and would like to work on something, if you have a Cogno movement ball, we're going to do it with you. So what is Cogno movement? It's a exercise where you focus on, for example, I'm afraid right now. I'm afraid of what's going to happen to my finances. I'm afraid of getting the virus and dying, whatever it might be. You focus on it, and then you do this exercise with this ball left and right. And you say the color that you see: orange, purple, blue, green. So in about 10, 15 minutes, when we first invented it, the thing would go away. You'd have like an emotional amnesia. And during that process, you'd have some sensation somewhere along the center line of your body. And that sensation would move as the severity of the issue decreased. Let's say that it was on a scale of 1 to 10, it was a 10. And then by the time, it goes down to a 5, maybe it was in your throat, and it moves to your stomach, and then it keeps going. So this Cogno movement, what it does is it creates an emotional amnesia, and it also can create like a craving amnesia as well. So if you have something that you just wish, my gosh, I wish I didn't want the ice cream every darn night, and I'm eating it, and I'm, putting on a lot of weight. I just don't want to feel that way anymore. The very first time I did this was Coca-Cola, and the woman, I just had her imagine her favorite Coca-Cola in a real glass with real ice, and we did it. And she said, oh, she felt it in her belly button, this sensation, and the craving was a 10, and then it moved up to her throat, and it was decreasing, and then the craving went away, and the feeling in her body went away. And then what happened is days later, she thought, oh, I'm going to try it again. She didn't want it, but she tried it again. And she said it just didn't taste the same to her. She just, and that's what happens. It's like, maybe it's Snickers bars. And, you next time you eat a Snicker bar, you're like, who made the Snicker bars? There's a problem at the factory. It just doesn't taste the same anymore. So that's kind of the phenomenon that happens. There's other things that this is useful for. One of the things that we're doing a study on presently, and we're working with the Western Peripheral Neuropathy Association with their support groups and doing a study on this presently, but it is peripheral neuropathy for people who have diabetes or AIDS or chemo. A lot of times they'll lose the feeling in their feet, and the combination of the numbness and heat and pain, strange thing, but it's a neurological thing. Anyway, if there's something like that, you want to participate in the study, I think you'll be really happy about that. But we'd love to have you participate. So, what this cogno movement has not been static, and what I mean by that is our understanding of what it is and how to make it better and more uses for it have progressed, just so much over the I don't know now, maybe 4 years since it was initially discovered. And this now what we figured out here, and Liz Larson, who you saw this from, she's a master NLP practitioner, and she knew that the eyes, when they're down, they're connected to our kinesthetic body. They're the feelings. And when your eyes are even, they're connected to the part of the brain that is the auditory. And when your eyes are up, they're connected to the visual part of the brain. The way this thing works is, the science behind it is that we're forcing the eyes into different positions as we go, which is forcing different parts of the brain into activity. It also, every time you cross the center line of the body, you're forcing data from the left brain to the right brain. Now, the left brain is the part that is responsible for stress, and the right brain doesn't have stress. So we're forcing information left to right. The ball, we do this by multiple methods. The ball occupies the right side of the brain, and the left side of the brain is occupied by the colors and symbols. So this is basically the process is you'll put the ball from left to right, say the color that you see, orange, purple, blue, green, and almost all of your attention is on the issue, whatever that issue might be. My ex-husband, my house, whatever. And you can say what it is, or you don't have to say what it is. You can just say, gosh, it's a 10 and I feel it in my heart, or it's in my throat, And so we ask you just that question, and then we do a session. There are other techniques which you're going to see as we actually work with real life problems with whoever here wants. But I'm going to just show you some of the other techniques as we go. It's kind of too much to explain, and this is kind of an experience tonight. I want to just show you this so you can see how it goes. This gives you a basic idea of what we're doing. So having said that, I'll stop for 1 minute, see if there's any questions. That's where I'll stop. Any questions regarding what I explained so far?
Bill, if nobody has any questions, Shelby, I get screwed up by her name. Shelby is interested in doing another session, following up on what we did yesterday, a continuation. So she says if no one else volunteers, she's in.
Okay, well, we'll start with Shelby because she volunteered, and then we'll move to the next person, whoever that is. Okay, so Shelby, I'm ready for you. Okay, so Shelby, terrific. Oh boy, you're ready to go. All right.
Yeah.
All right. So Shelby, if you could the first thing is I'm going to have you to choose an issue, and I'd like you to look down with your eyes and look down with your eyeballs only. Now, as you look down with the reason I'm having her to look down with her eyes is because we know that when you look down, that you connect with the emotion of this. So she's now connecting with the emotion and feeling it. So that's the big thing, is to feel the emotion related to this. And Shelby, tell me on a scale of 1 to 10, emotionally, how bad is this one for you?
Probably an 8.
Okay, so on a scale of 1 to 10, it's an 8. And physically, where do you feel it in your body?
It's heat all over, so my body feels hot, but mainly my face today.
Okay, you feel it in your face. Okay, and it's about an 8. And
Yep.
okay, do you have a word or something or a name of somebody that I would just say that would help keep you on track?
It's my ex-husband,
Okay.
so I think you can call him ex-husband or Greg, and it's again a different situation to what we dealt with yesterday, but it's still emotionally for me, it's still resentment and anger towards him.
Okay. All right. All right. So I want you to go ahead and feel that. I'm going to stay in this. His name's Greg.
Yep.
Greg. Okay. So
And the other thing that may help, it was to do with my son being hospitalized, and he didn't contact me to let me know.
okay. Oh wait. So Greg. All right. Ready? So go ahead and start with the ball low. Greg, and he didn't talk to you or call you when your son was in the hospital. Say the color that you see.
Purple,
Think about
blue, red, orange,
your son's
green,
own mother
yellow,
not knowing
green,
when he's in the hospital
purple, blue,
and
purple,
who he is.
orange, red, blue, yellow, orange, red,
Greg,
green,
all
blue,
the hospital.
yellow, red,
Feel it.
orange,
There you go.
blue,
Feel it. Start
yellow,
faster.
green, blue, orange, green, red,
Move the ball
green,
higher.
orange, blue,
Waist
red, purple, orange, green,
Great.
purple,
Red.
green,
Red.
yellow,
What you know.
orange,
Your
red,
son's in the hospital.
blue, green,
Move
orange,
higher. Move it to chest level.
orange,
Chest level.
yellow, blue, green, yellow, blue,
Level.
orange,
Chest
red,
level.
purple,
You didn't call
yellow,
you. You didn't
blue, red,
call you.
purple, orange, red,
He's not
orange,
calling
red,
you. Go
blue,
up.
red,
Shoulder level.
blue, purple,
Shoulder
red,
level.
purple, green,
When the ball
High.
higher.
orange, red, blue, red, purple, orange,
Call you. Stay
yellow,
focused on it. 90%
blue,
of your attention
orange,
is on Greg.
green, orange, red, orange,
Your son.
purple, purple, blue,
Higher.
yellow,
Move it
red,
higher.
blue, yellow, purple, blue, green,
Excellent.
red,
Stop.
green, red,
Stop. Okay, big infinity symbol. Very slow. Very slow. Eyes only. Head straight forward. and your eyes are just tracking the ball. Eyes are tracking the ball. Greg, Greg. He didn't call you, and your son is in the hospital. Your son's in the hospital, and he didn't call you. Track it just with your eyes, eyeballs only. Track it. Track it. Greg, 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 Greg. As you're going, I want you to just say the picture that you see in your mind's eye when you're doing this. Greg, just say it. Just say the picture that you see. Whatever it
I
is.
see a picture of my ex-husband.
Okay, Greg, great. Just keep doing it. Whatever comes to you, go slow. Whatever it comes, just say whatever it is. Greg, focused on Greg and not calling you. Son in the hospital. Eyes only. Eyeballs only. Greg. You know your son's in the hospital and you have the expected talk. And stop. Walk in a figure eight. Walk in a figure eight. And as you're walking, there you go. I want you to yawn as you walk. Yawn again as you walk. Okay. Okay, stop. Where is it in your body?
Right now, here.
And what is it on a
Hot
scale,
breath,
on a scale of 1 to 10? What is it?
5.
Okay, turn and face the wall. Turn your body. Ready? Focus on Greg. Greg, start low. Start low at your hips. There you go, at your hips. Say the color. Greg.
Purple, red, green, blue,
Greg.
orange, red, orange,
Didn't call.
green, blue, purple,
Didn't
green,
call.
blue, green,
Move
orange,
as fast as you can.
red,
Fast as you can.
green,
Didn't
green,
call.
blue,
Didn't
purple,
call.
orange, blue,
Move higher.
yellow, blue, green, red,
Fast.
green, blue, purple, orange,
Do it. You didn't call.
green, purple, red,
Move up to your shoulders. You
red,
didn't call.
yellow, red,
Your son's in the hospital.
green,
Move fast.
orange, red, purple,
You didn't call.
yellow, blue,
Higher.
green,
Move the ball higher.
orange,
Eye level. Eye level.
red, purple, orange, red, orange, yellow,
Move higher.
orange, purple, blue, purple, green, blue, yellow, red,
Okay, stop.
green, yellow,
Stop. Big infinity. Big, huge infinity. Big infinity all the way up, 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 up. Follow it with your eyes. Eyes only. Eyes only. Greg, he didn't call you. Didn't call you. Didn't call. Greg. Didn't call. Feel it. Feel it. Feel it. Feel it. Didn't call. Okay. Walk in a figure eight. Walk in a figure eight as fast as you can and yawn. Greg didn't call. Greg didn't call. He didn't call. Yawn again. Okay. And stop. Okay. Emotionally, 1 to 10.
0.
All right. Okay. And physically, do you feel it anymore over there?
No,
Physically?
gone. It's
Okay.
gone.
All right. Fantastic. All
And
right.
I want to share, because I think we actually cleared two issues at once. I don't know whether other people noticed, but at the end of the first session, I started crying, and it brought up the picture I saw was of my son sitting in that hospital, scared, and me not knowing. So I got upset about what my son went through at that period of time, which connects to the breast because of nurturing. So yeah, I feel like I cleared 2 issues: my resentment and anger towards my ex-husband for not contacting me, and me being upset that my son needed me and I didn't know he needed me.
Yeah, and he was suffering, and you didn't have you couldn't help him because
No.
Yeah.
I've been carrying that all this time, and I feel like now I've let it go.
That's a heavy one. That's a heavy one. How's the lump doing?
Yeah, it feels about the same size, but I can feel like yesterday how it felt like it sort of split. So there's still a split there. I think this is something that is multiple issues of things that have happened in my life, and it's just built up and built up.
Okay. Yeah.
That's where all my emotional baggage goes to.
Okay. All right. Things around being a mother.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, 2 more down, right? All right.
Yeah. That's it.
That's good. All right. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for participating. Is there anybody else that would like to have a free session here?
I heard somebody. Was there somebody there who was volunteering? If you're thinking about volunteering, while we do that, I wonder if we could ask Shell just a couple of questions. Shell,
I'll volunteer.
Oh, Karen.
Yep.
Hold on just one second. I just want to ask Shelby one question. Shelby, is your energy level any different overnight from yesterday to today?
I woke up earlier this morning, and I was definitely more, I got more done this morning. Yesterday I was rushing around, I was running late, but today I feel more energized. I feel like I slept well, And yeah, I've woken up earlier and gotten out of bed earlier. So that's all a bonus.
And how was your mood?
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah.
And did you have any new ideas today? Any creativity or new ideas?
Not that I can put my finger on, but I am feeling more positive about life, and yeah, I went and worked in the garden yesterday, so it's all good, all positive.
How about focus? Was there anything you needed to focus on in the last 24 hours?
I've been quite good at focusing. I've been multitasking, doing several things at once.
So is that better than usual, worse than usual, or the
Yeah,
same?
better than
Better.
usual.
So just for everybody out there, I mean, these are the kind of things that you can expect. And they're cumulative over the days, more focus, more energy, more creativity, the great ideas that come. And I just wanted to point out the reason is that energy has gone back into your system, the one that was using to run those programs that you were holding on to, Shelby.
Yeah.
Bill, we have a quick question. It looks like Karen might be a volunteer and Wendy might be a volunteer. So Janet is asking, if you're wanting to get rid of a craving, does it need to be a specific item or can you generalize? That's a good question. Can you say chocolate in a general way, or do you have to go with a particular chocolate?
Oh. So I'll use the example. There was a woman who, it didn't matter. It was salty foods, right? Salty snacks and dips. That was her gig. So it could be a chip. It could be salty popcorn. It was just the crunch and the salt and dips. And, you know, she had a lot of different ones that she liked. We ended up clearing it, interestingly enough, by just focusing on the whole load of it, kind of the salty, crunchy category, if you will. But if you, if, for example, you know, there's two things I like: chocolate cake and fried chicken. Well, you probably want to concentrate on the chocolate cake or just the fried chicken. Do the fried chicken first and then the chocolate cake, or vice versa. But if it's not if there's not kind of a binding, like it's crunch and salt, or it's sweet, you know, you kind of need a common theme on it if you're going to bundle things together.
Bill, we also have had it go back the other way too. Marina, one of our practitioners out of the Boston area, Massachusetts, Providence, Rhode Island area, she went the other way with a really significant case where they just picked one that was crunchy snacks. So they focused on just one of those and it collapsed all the crunchy snacks. So it can go both directions as well.
It was more, my question is around, I've cut out sugars from the 1st of March. So I've passed that first phase of, you know, where you have all those intense cravings because you're getting rid of a habit. But every now and then I want something sweet. So it's like a general feeling that I'm having. It's not that I can specifically say I'm craving a particular thing, but I'm just like really in the mood for something sweet because I haven't had sugar for so long. So I just wondered if you could just go with a general feeling of I'm in the mood for something sweet.
Yeah, you can, and pay close attention to where that feeling is in the body when you do it. It's really interesting.
The throat. It's very much a throat. So I don't know if it's a taste thing or, you know, it's just it tends to, and I know it always follows something emotional. It, you know, generally like I've hit an emotional thing or something, and it used to be my go-to to avoid the emotion. So yeah.
Yeah, most people have that.
Mm.
You know, and there's a whole thing around that. We humans, our interface to this dimension is our senses, our sight, smell, taste, hearing, you know, that sort of thing. And so when we have a really good feeling inside, and then we happen to be eating something or smelling something or hearing something, we will associate, whatever that
Yeah,
is
you're anchoring it.
with that good feeling. So when you want to feel good again, you'll start reaching for that same type thing.
Yeah.
And so we bust that cycle, and anyway, it really works.
Cool. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. The interesting thing about that is that it's the opposite of everything we've been taught all our life, and that is you have to be stronger than the chocolate. You got to push it away. This is
Yeah.
actually just imagine you're enjoying it completely, and that's how it works. So you're no longer pushing it away.
Yeah. Cool. Okay. Thank you.
Welcome. Okay, and next up, who's our lucky person?
We have Karen and then Wendy.
All right.
And
Karen.
then I don't know if Janet wanted to actually work on that one too. We could also, that might be a fast one as well.
Okay. All right. So Karen, hi.
Hi, how you doing?
Excellent. I can't really see you yet. Hopefully if you
Oh,
start talking, it'll
I'm here. I can see me as I'm supposed to be there. I can see the thing that looks like it's there.
Okay. Liz, is there a way for there we go. Ta-da. Now I can see you. Okay, so
I'm kind of scared for volunteering because we've worked on this before and it's persisting. And I've worked on it on my own and it's persisting. And I feel like I'm doing something wrong. And my doubts come up, and then I think, oh, I'm a bad test subject for Bill because it's not working right now. And what am I doing wrong? And I'm failing. So there's that involved. It's a pain in my jaw, and I'm trying to remember what you said about jaw being tied to it. Was it an unforgiveness or something?
Gosh, I forget what we had talked about this. Have you worked on the emotional aspect, or did you just focus on the jaw and do the cogno movement?
Yeah, I've been trying to work on the emotional aspect, and that doesn't seem to be working. And I don't know if it's because there's so much tied up in that it feels almost like sometimes I'm not even sure what's connected to this. And then sometimes I think, well, it's connected to feeling really dismissed and marginalized and minimized and, you're just not feeling validated at all when I try to speak something that I have a sense about. So I think that could be it, but then I think, well, I've worked on that and I don't know if that's it. I don't know.
Let's just see. We'll come at this from a different angle.
Oh, great.
See what happens, okay?
Okay.
We'll keep trying until we hit the right thing. When you hit the right note, things pop.
Okay.
So this time, what we're going to do is I want you to put the jaw pain on a scale of 1 to 10.
Put it about a 7.
Woo, that's a good one. Okay.
Yeah, maybe a 6. I mean, I don't notice it all the time, but when I do notice it, if I chew something that's harder to chew, then I really notice it. So I'm not sure where to put it.
Okay. All right. So here's what I'd like you to do is this time, what you're going to do is put this, give all your attention to it. I want you to look down with your eyeballs.
Okay.
And put your attention on your jaw and on the pain.
Mm.
Okay. Focus on it.
Yeah.
Notice it. Notice where it goes. And Is it, now that you're paying attention, scale of 1 to 10 on your jaw?
It's about a 5 or 6.
Okay, it's 5.5.
Yeah.
Okay, ready? Low, start low with cogno movement. I want you to put all your attention on
Orange. Orange.
all on the jaw. Keep your attention on the jaw.
Red.
Say the color.
Red. Purple. Green. Purple. Red.
All your attention's on the jaw.
Green.
Your
Green.
attention on
Red.
the jaw.
Orange. Red. Yeah. Green. Red. Purple. Red. Orange.
Move it just a little bit higher. Keep your attention on the jaw.
Blue. Yellow. Yellow. Orange.
Your attention on the jaw.
Blue. Red. Red.
On the jaw.
Yellow. Blue.
Our attention's on the jaw. Just a little bit higher.
Yellow.
Attention's on the jaw.
Red. Yellow. Red.
On the jaw. Shoulder height.
Green. Red. Green. Red.
Attention on the jaw. Eyes. Eye level. Attention on the jaw. Eye
Red.
level.
Orange.
Attention on the
Red.
jaw.
Green.
Overhead. Attention on the jaw.
Yellow.
Overhead.
Red.
Attention on the jaw. Higher. Higher. And
Green.
stop.
Orange.
Put the ball in front of you. Big infinity. Big infinity. Attention on the jaw. All your attention is on the jaw. And as you're slowly going through this, notice whatever pictures come to mind, just say the picture. Just say the picture, whatever the picture is, say it.
Oh, rock. Jumping.
All the pictures, everything's
Off
on
the
the
bar.
jaw. Focus on the jaw.
My sister.
Focus on your jaw.
My ex-husband.
All your attention is on the jaw.
My youngest son. Being laughed at. Self-conscious.
Jaw. Keep the attention on the jaw.
High school graduation.
The jaw. The jaw. Attention on the jaw. Attention on the jaw. Okay, stop. Walk in a figure 8 real quick. Tension's on the jaw. All the attention's on the jaw. Okay, all right. Turn your head left. Turn your head left. Look left.
Look left, okay.
Left. Turn your head right. And the opposite way. Okay, now, jaw.
Hasn't dropped that much, maybe to a 4.
Okay, ready? Go. Attention on the jaw.
Yellow.
Jaw.
Red. Green. Orange. Orange. Blue. Yellow.
On the jaw. Keep all of your attention on the jaw.
Yellow.
All the attention's on the jaw.
Blue. Red. Yellow.
Attention's
Blue.
on the jaw.
Red. Orange.
Mental attention on the jaw.
Red. Red. Yellow.
On the jaw.
Red. Yellow. Purple.
Attention on the jaw.
Blue.
And a little bit higher.
Green.
A
Blue.
little higher.
Yellow. Green.
A little higher.
Red.
Jaw.
Orange. Orange.
Jaw.
Red.
Okay, stop. Infinity. Say the picture that you see. All your attention is on the jaw. Just say the picture. Say what you see.
Bloody nose.
Good. There you go. Focus on the jaw.
Beach. Feasting.
Focus on the jaw.
Ooh, my son dropping him off, doing an intervention on him. Sobbing.
Your attention on the physical jaw. Say whatever picture comes.
Rage. Rage at my ex-husband. He's drunk. He stinks.
Your attention on the physical jaw. Attention on the jaw.
Vertigo. Uh,
Attention on the jaw. Attention on the jaw. Okay, and stop. Walk to figure eight. Okay, now face the other way or face a different way. There you go. And 1 to 10 on the jaw.
Still around the, well, it's around the 3.
Okay, all right, good. Yawn. Arch your head back and just yawn.
There's a crunching that happens in that jaw, and it's happened for, gosh, a few years, and that's still there.
Okay, all right, all right, all right. Turn your head to the right and look to the left. And turn your head to the left and look to the right. Okay. All right. Very good. Okay. All right. Is it about a 3?
Yeah, it's definitely gone down now.
Okay. And what do you think it is now?
Well, it's more like a 2, but yeah, it's
Turn your head to the right and look to the left. And then do the opposite. Okay. I want you to focus on the jaw when you do this.
okay.
Okay. And ready. And cogno movement. Go ahead.
Blue, orange,
Focus on the jaw.
red,
Purple.
purple,
And
green, purple,
jaw.
red, green, yellow, purple,
Higher.
purple, red, orange, yellow,
Higher. Little higher.
red, yellow, red,
On the jaw. Your attention on the jaw.
green, purple, orange, blue, orange, purple, green, red,
Jaw.
orange, orange, blue, yellow, yellow,
There you go. There you go. Okay, stop. Big infinity. Say what you see, focusing on your jaw. Say whatever picture you see. Say what it is.
sand castles, shaking with fear, sleeping in my car for safety.
Your jaw, focus on the jaw. Your attention's on the jaw.
Oh, GERD, lots of GERD pain. Oh.
Focus on the jaw. Focus on your jaw. And stop. Walk in a figure 8. Okay. And stop. Face the fireplace.
Okay.
Okay. Can you make a spin like a ballerina to the left and then spin like a ballerina to the right? Okay. Stop. Okay. Now yawn if you can. Okay. All right. And now 1 to 10 on the jaw.
It's still around a 2 or 3.
Two or 3.
Yeah.
All right.
It's definitely less than when I started.
Okay. We're knocking it down bit by bit.
Mm.
Move your head to one side and your eyes to the other while focused on the jaw. Okay, I want to try something different with you.
Okay.
Do you have a piece of ice in your freezer?
No, but I have some frozen vegetables.
That'll do it.
Right?
Okay. Okay, good. You got frozen vegetables.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Here's what I want you to do. Let go of the ball. You got the frozen vegetables?
Yep.
Okay. Take the frozen vegetables. Let go of the ball.
Let go of the ball. Okay.
Okay. I want you to put all of your attention. There's one part of your jaw that does not hurt, correct?
Yes.
I want you to put your attention on the part of the jaw that does not hurt.
Okay.
Okay. And I want you to take those frozen vegetables and go like this along the part that is the same. If this part hurts, you're going to put the frozen vegetables over here. Okay. And
Where it does, put it where it does not hurt.
you're going to, so the part that
It hurts here. Do I put it here?
here's where it hurts, you're
Yeah.
going to put it over here.
Okay.
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 Or when I say so. Well, hold on. Don't do it yet.
Okay.
I want you to, what you're going to do is you're going to move your jaw left, right, up, down, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, left, right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, up, down. Okay, watch. And you're going to go left, right, and you're going to go up, down 5 times. And you're going to put the ice on this side, okay?
Okay.
The good side. Ready?
And I have the ice on while I'm doing it.
Yes, you're going to move that ice, move the ice in a little circle, move the ice in a little circle. You want the body to have a sensation, okay? You're gonna do the exact, remember the exact motion. You're gonna go side to side and up and down 5 times. Create a sensation with those, with that ice. Okay, good enough. Stop.
Okay.
Go to the other side. Okay. I want you to do the exact same thing.
Okay.
The sensation with the ice and move the jaw left, right, and up and down. Okay, and stop. Okay, I want you to roll your eyes to the left. Roll your eyes to the right. And check your jaw now.
Oh, it's still around a 2, but yeah, it had gone back up. It's less.
Okay, it's about a 2 now. So we started at a 5.5. Don't do that.
You on it.
I want to have a process for you. So we started at about a 5.5.
Yeah.
Now 2. Okay. Okay. Well, in order I respect everybody's time.
Right.
I want to show everybody that, and maybe we can work on this with you at another time and help you. The thing I want to point out is that we can work from an emotional to a physical and from a physical to an emotional. So
it's definitely working better for me to work the physical to the emotional.
Yeah. So this is so it's just another technique, right, where we can do this. The other thing that I was doing with her is just something else that well, it's a whole subject. So maybe I'll talk to you about that offline.
Bill, might this diminish over the next few hours or day or whatever?
See how it goes. Some people it does.
Yeah.
Some people it doesn't. But what I will say is if you keep working at it and you keep going at it from the physical level and doing the technique, typically things walk down.
Okay.
Some people walk faster than others, but it hasn't been that long. I don't know, maybe we had 10, 12 minutes with you, and
Right.
we've walked it down to, I'm going to call it a half price sale.
Okay.
Hey, Bill, this is Liz. Do you mind if I ask a question of Karen?
Yes, please.
So everybody, I just want you to watch Karen, watch her face as I ask this question, and we're just going to see. It's an experiment, like this always is. I'm going to ask you a simple question. It's one of those things that sometimes we just forget to ask. But do you have permission from your body to let that pain go?
Oh, wow, that's a great question. I have permission. I don't know that. I think that would be really good for me to do that because it's really holding on to protect itself. Really a protective thing.
Mm-hmm.
I get that. When you asked that, I knew immediately. Yeah.
Yeah. So just ask your body now if you'll let your hands fall apart.
Okay.
Yeah. And just ask your body, do I have permission to let this go? So
let this go.
You know, body's protecting you. It's holding on to it. Just ask.
Well, it's kind of giving me the I'm willing to be willing answer.
Great. Good. And then just shake it out. Just shake it out. Yeah, just shake it out. Take a big deep breath in. Maybe move your hands up over your head and clap them, you know. All right. Now just check in.
I can't say that it's gone, but it feels like it's moving, not to a different part of my body, but just that the actual spot, there's movement in it.
So just for everybody, that's one of those things, like as practitioners, we know that as a basic thing, we often will ask that question. When you have a long standing issue, the body's protecting you. It knows that for some reason you need to hold on to that. So sometimes we need to give the body permission. So if you want to do that now, give the body permission, tell the body it's okay for you if we let it go, and ask the body vice versa. You noticed if you were watching carefully that there was a big reaction when we asked the body. So it's just a little simple tool that sometimes you can try.
That's great. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, Bill.
All right.
We're wrapping it up.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much, Karen. That was awesome.
Thank you. Oh, well, I'm humbled. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so all right, couple things for the people that haven't been here. We have a Cognomovement gym going on all next week, 7 days where we're going to all work on different individual kind of issues like family, communication, so on and so forth. And this is taking place Monday through Sunday at 9:15 Pacific time for an hour every day. So you have me and Liz there who are going to work with you full time on that for an hour. The cost of the Cognomovement gym is $99. We also, for the entire week. And then we also have a Cogno movement, we have an immunity gym, which starts at 8 a.m. and goes for an entire hour. And we do the breathing exercises. We go through physical exercises that are proven to drive your immune system crazy, and also emotional exercises. Now, if you cannot come, these things will be recorded and you get the thing every day. So if you miss a day, you're actually going to get the recording. You can follow along because it'll be emailed to you. You can get your tickets. The combo, right? If you did both, the combo's only $150 if you did both for the entire week. If you choose one, that's whichever one is $99. I think that's the big things. If you're interested in becoming Cognomovement practitioner, we have an upcoming, do we have the dates on that yet, Liz?
I don't have it rock solid on the site yet, but we had said the last weekend in April, which would be the 24th, 25th, and 26th.
If you're interested in that, this is online, and it's three days online. You can just email Bill McKenna events at gmail.com, and we'll make sure that you're on the list to participate in that. Being a Cognomovement practitioner, you learn all this stuff, and you get it certified, listed on our website, and we promote you as well as you get ongoing help from us. So that's the Cognomovement practitioner program. We'd love to have you. There's so many people that you can help with so many things like this. If you want a Cognomovement, if you don't have your Cognomovement ball already, you can get them on Amazon, but they're backed up. And I've seen that they're seems like a week and a half, 2 weeks, they haven't shipped. People have ordered stuff they haven't shipped. If you want, just email me at Bill McKenna Events, and I'll send you, here's your selections, and it's the same as Amazon, but I can ship out today because they're jammed up so bad with the whole Corona fiasco. Okay. Any other things that I forgot, Liz?
No, I think you covered it, and we're only 5 minutes over. So anybody want to do this again next week? We'll do it.
Okay. And by the way, if you want a private session, we have practitioners on cognomovement.com. They can do this online with you. We're also available for that. We do not only Cognomovement, but many other things to help you through whatever it might be.
Yeah, and with us tonight, we have Coral in Oregon, Southern Oregon, and Annette in the greater New York area. She's near New York City, but she's in New Jersey. So Annette is doing online sessions. Bill's doing online sessions. I'm doing online sessions. And Marina in the greater Boston area is as well. So.
Okay, and I'm going to do the immunity series again. So I'll be doing that to try to help. It's kind of my service to humanity on the immunity. If you look as well, I think on Facebook, and you probably will get an email eventually, Gaia.com, which I was part of the real immunity documentary. They're going to make that available to everybody for free. You can also get 7 days of Cognomovement, Gaia for free to watch as much. You can binge watch for 7 days of Gaia. We'll send you the link on that, which is, if you haven't done that, the binge is worth it. They've got so many great things there, and you'll learn so many great teachers. So treat yourself to that. Thank you all. Thank you all for participating, and I'll see everybody from the Immunity Gym tomorrow morning.
Yep.
All
Thank
right.
you, Bill and Liz. Thank you.
Good night, everyone.
Thank you all.
Bye.